in the days when things were starting to be compared, like there was a bigger number than the other. So let's say I have a 5 here and a 7 here. Okay, so we know 7 is bigger than 5, right? Now, back in the days when things started getting created, people came and said, well, we're going to represent 5 as a small number, so like a little dot, and then 7 like a big segment, like a line. But then people started getting confused. That looks like a 1, or that looks like a decimal. So somebody came and said, all right, for us to not get confused, let's make this into a triangle. The small side of the triangle is with the small numbered, and the big side is with the big numbered. But then people came along and they said, that's kind of confusing. Triangles are kind of confusing. So then mathematicians got together and they said, all right, let's erase part of it. Let's erase part of the triangle so it looks like that. So that's what we call the inequality symbol. Now, I know in elementary, people like to say it looks like a mouth. It looks like a mouth, and then sometimes they even add the teeth. It looks like a mouth that it's eating the bigger number, right? 7 is bigger than 5, so have the mouth open towards 7. So we will write this as 5, and then that open towards 7. Now, if the 7 was listed before the 5, we will have the mouth still open towards the 7, but now notice how the mouth is open towards the other side because the 7 is on the left side now. So when the 7 was on the right side, see the mouth is open towards the right side. When the big number is on the left side, we open the mouth towards the left side. Now these signs, they do have a name. The first one, 5, when the 5 is listed first, we call that less than. Less than. So the way we read that is 5 is less than 7. Now, when the big number is listed first, so I see 7 listed first, we call that greater than. So the way we read that is 7 is greater than 5. The name of the inequality depends on the first number. When the first number is the smallest, we call it less than. When the first number is the biggest of the two that I'm comparing, when the first number is the biggest, we call it greater than. So the name of the inequality depends on the first number. Okay, now we can still see it as a mouth. It is open towards the big number. Now here it says complete with a greater than, less than, or equal sign. Okay, some of my numbers might be equal. Okay, so we're gonna compare it. Now I have negative 23 and positive 15. Negatives are always smaller than positive. In this case, I have a negative 23 and a positive 15. And I just said negatives are smaller than positives. So 15 is the biggest number. Okay. The way I have to complete this, I have to put the inequality sign, and I'm looking like, how do I type this? It looks like a mouth. It looks like a mouth that it's open towards the big number. So it has to be open towards the 15th. Matter of fact, let me write it better. Right, it wants to eat the big number. Now, this inequality signs, you guys see them on your keyboard towards the bottom on the right after M, you guys see less than, greater than. Okay, you have to press shift in order to have it type, but all I'm expecting is the inequality sign. Now, question number 10, I'm comparing positive 12 and negative 21. So positive 12 and negative 21. And I just said earlier, negatives are always smaller than positives. So in this case, this mouth will eat the 12. If they were both positive, 21 will be bigger. If they were both negative, 12 will be bigger. But here, because one of them is positive, one of them is negative, I just look at the signs to begin with. Now, looking at number 11, when I look at the signs, they're both negative. Okay, so now I have to look at the numbers. Negative 5, negative 23. Okay, negative 5, negative 23. From those two, if I put them on the number line, which one will be on the right? Okay, yep, -5 will be on the right. So -5 is bigger. So my mouth opening eating the bigger number. So the way we read that is -5 is greater than -23. The way we read number 9, -23 is less than 5. Okay, lastly, we're going to look at question number 12. I'm comparing positive numbers, positive 43, positive 15. Okay, so they're both positive, so look at the values. From those two numbers, if I was to put them on the number line, which one is farthest to the right? Yeah, 43 is farthest to the right. So 43 is bigger. So 43 is greater than 15.